Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Saturday, July 1st, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's edition of WWE Smackdown broadcast on Fox, featuring matches taped earlier in the day from the O2 Arena in London, England. The final segment of the show featured a confrontation between WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa and their scheduled opponents for tonight at Money in the Bank, Jimmy and Jey Uso. The promo segment hinted at friction between Reigns and Sikoa and ended with Jey Uso laying out both of them to close the show. Logan Paul was a guest on the Grayson Waller Effect interview segment where he was confronted by LA Knight, with both men discussing their chances of winning tonight's men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
You know what? I'm going to give you one thing, Logan Paul. You have proven a lot with everything you've been given. But that's the key. It's what you've been given. Meanwhile, I've walked in here, I ain't been given a damn thing. Yet every time I walk in here, the whole world jumps to their feet, feeling the Kavorka because I made it that way. Yeah. So here's the thing, man. I got all the respect in the world for the fact that you could go and make yourself a name on social media. You could make yourself a name on YouTube. But right now, you're standing in my ring. So tomorrow night, you look at that case, you got to realize the odds are on me for a reason, because I am the one and the only megastar with everybody saying L.A. Knight.
The segment led into a triple threat match involving Knight, Butch, and Santos Escobar, which was won by Butch. A post-match brawl then erupted, which was also joined by Paul. The final match of the show saw WWE Women's Champion Asuka and Charlotte Flair battle to a no contest due to outside interference from Bianca Belair, who was seated at ringside. In the opening match, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens retained the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship against Pretty Deadly in that duo's first shot at the title.
Kevin Owens started a Prince Haluna kick. Sami and Kevin retained.
In other results, Bayley pinned Shotzi, and United States champion Austin Theory beat Ridge Holland in a non-title match, with Sheamus making the save when Theory attacked Holland after the match. AEW Rampage aired last night on TNT, featuring matches taped last Wednesday night at the First Ontario Center in Hamilton. In the opening match, Claudio Castagnoli made his 8th defense of the Ring of Honor World Championship, defeating Commander via referee stoppage.
Don't go to the well too many times.
Command. Claudio, what a counter!
That was too many times. Using the ropes, he used it like 3 straight times there. And Randy Martinez pushing off the champion.
That is it.
That knocked him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has stopped this match. Your winner and still Ring of Honor World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli.
The strength, the power of Claudio Castagnoli.
The win also marked the first time Castagnoli had defended the ROH World title on weekly AEW television. In other results, Hikaru Shida beat Taya Valkyrie, Shawn Spears topped the Blade, and QT Marshall and Johnny TV defeated the team of Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy in the opening match. The match was Johnny TV's first since signing full-time with AEW. Formerly known as John Morrison in WWE, he last appeared there in November 2021. In some unfortunate news, Darren Drozdov, best known to fans of late 90s WWF simply as Droz, has passed away at the age of 54, according to a report yesterday from PW Insider. Drozdov had spent the past 24 years as a quadriplegic after suffering 2 fractured vertebrae in his neck during a match with D'Lo Brown at a WWE TV taping at the Nassau Coliseum on October 5, 1999, during which he slipped and fell to the mat while taking a running powerbomb. Although he had experienced some return of movement in his upper extremities over the years, Droz had remained in a motorized wheelchair specifically designed for him by former college friend Kevin Plank, founder of the Under Armour company. Drozdov first gained attention due to his appearance in the 1999 documentary Beyond the Mat, which documented the meeting with Vince McMahon, in which McMahon was impressed with Drozdov's ability to vomit on command, giving him the wrestling nickname Puke. This gimmick was used at first when Droz debuted as a third member of the Road Warriors, but was later dropped when the Road Warriors angle ended and Droz was broken off as a singles. Following the accident, Droz received a financial settlement from the WWF, although there was no lawsuit filed. He continued to contribute to the company by taking part on the Bite This web show for WWE.com, as well as writing columns for WWE publications. At the time of the accident, Drozdov was engaged to WWF seamstress Julie Youngberg, and the two were married just days after his paralysis. They divorced in 2005. Since that time, Drozdov had been living under the care of his sister and her family in New Jersey. Once again, Darren Drozdov has passed away at the age of 54. And in news from outside the ring, rapper Lil Uzi Vert has sampled the entrance theme of Shinsuke Nakamura for a new recording simply entitled Nakamura and featured on his new album Pink Tape, released yesterday. Lil Uzi also references Nakamura himself in the lyrics to the song. The Japanese wrestler shared the track on his own Twitter account yesterday morning. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.